works. All right, so let's talk about lighting. All right, first things first, we've got essential effects is where you're going to want to go into the lighting section. Now, generally, brightness global is what I work with. See that? It means the whole house is affected. And it makes things more vivid, but it also darkens things. And you can fiddle with how much you want it to be darkened. So over here, brightness global. If I could click. So you can make it darker or brighter. As you can see, we can go all the way down where only you can see are just the very tips of bright things. And of course, the sky is pretty blue here, so. But as you can see, it's a little odd. But you can go up and down. This is contrast. This is back up to color. Transparency wouldn't really work in this, but you get the idea. So this is, just remember that when you're placing this global brightness, try it out at night as well as in day, because what it does is it goes based off of how you see it. So all it really does is change your gamma and changes the viewer's gamma. So if you're looking at this at night, it's going to naturally be darker, so you may not make it dark enough. If you're looking at it during the day, it might be too dark at night, if that makes any sense. So that is how that works. Let's move along to the next one. Lighting second. All right, area is just, as you can see. You see this little circle around me? That's the only place that it's going to mess with the lighting. So the rest of this house is fine. We saw this in the last house we looked at with Gornier. It had, or Boulder Tree. It only had a couple of spots that were this dark. This is how you do that. And you use the arrow keys to position where you want it and to change the size of the area you want affected, if that makes any sense. So there you go. You've got one little spot that you're going to make perhaps super dark, right? Let's get it somewhere that I can actually walk into. So we'll go we'll say it's right here, right? Maybe. Let's see if it works, right? And then we walk out of it, and then we walk into it. See? That's how simple it is. You have just a spot of darkness. And you can change the size. And then if you want to change the size again, you just go to place, you select it again, and you've got a spot that you can mess with. Single candle is exactly what it sounds like. It's really just an effect. See it? It doesn't actually light anything up. It's just a candle. But I've used it in a lot of situations where I needed candles. Here, you can make it bigger. And you just got a silly old candle. It moves a little bit. It looks like a candle. We've got all right, so colored rooms, meridias, is something you should know about. What it does is, for the entire house, it will turn it this pinkish color. This is the standard color that Meridia's colored rooms has. However, you can change that. So let's say you don't want this rose color, you want it to be red or green. You just change it, and you can mess with, you know, how intense you want it to be, how transparent you want it to be, etc. And now we're in frickin' Oz. But there you go. You can mess with that. It's a very nice way of just picking a color to go over everything if that's what you want to do. It can really be awesome. Now, auto adjusting, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but carpet is just this little section over here. Pervasive is what I've talked about a lot. It's this smoky effect where the light comes in and out. You see how it's like, it's the whole area, but you see how it goes in and out, almost like smoke, billows of smoke are going past you. That's how that works. It's just a more natural looking darkness to me. Shaft of darkness is pretty much what it looks like. Veil of darkness is just one spot. Wall of darkness. Ethereal glow looks like that. That can be really cool around like magical objects or something. Fade to black is one of those areas that, spots that you can set the size of. You see that circle? So when you walk into it, we fade to black, right? When we walk out of it, we come back. Can be really cool for scary houses. We also have a fade to white. Works the same way. See? So that's how the lighting works. There's also spotlight ring. So it's not real light. So remember that. It's fake light. So you won't actually light anything up. It just looks like it is. God's rays is hard to see in this, but it's essentially that. Oh, it keeps vanishing on me, but it's basically just like a poof of light. These are the Hakko Che Lanterns. They look friggin' real. And the lit ones especially look real, because if you look on the bottom of the real ones, you'll see at night they have these spots underneath that show how these, like, you see this has a hole on the bottom of it, so yes, it does show a light on the ground. So it's pretty accurate. And I love to use this because it moves in the wind. It looks a lot like the real thing, and it's much more inexpensive. Then we have the multicolor and vertical Christmas lights in both white and solid. So they're all here if you wanted to use Christmas lights. And then Technicolor, it's basically, I think this is mostly just like Meridia's rooms. I really haven't figured out the difference between this and Meridia's rooms, but there you go. All right, let me get rid of all of them. So that's how you do lighting. Sound and music is pretty similar. Hi, Garish. In that, well, first of all, you've got Hymn of the Stars, for example. It's only playing in that one spot because you can see it has a circle around it. Anything that has a circle like that is only in one area. To make it go over the whole area, you want to just hit on and make it bigger, 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 bigger until it's the whole area. And then in this area, you will hear a different song than you'll hear in the rest of the house. I don't have my music on, so you can't really hear it. But there's different ones you can pick. Battle, melancholy, peaceful, suspense. So here's the really useful one, okay? Other than me destroying things. Let's get my gallery open. Pull out my replica Rathana de McAnnoying. Okay? Say you have this sucker on, and it's singing to you, and you want to stab it in the face. Let's see if whether my sound is on. Sound is on. Do you guys hear the Rathana de Renata? If not, I screwed it up. But here's the sphere of silence. I tend to use nothingness, but you can also block out, I think one of these is effects. It might be effects, but I prefer nothingness so that it only has the sound of nothing around it. So you select nothingness, and here, it's only this spot. That's not very helpful. So we want to go over the Rathana. Blurp, blurp, blurp. Okay, I went way past it because I was expecting to see it disappear, but that's not helpful because that didn't. Yeah, so you can drag effects. If you grab and hold the paint box, you can actually move them that way. So let's see, where'd you go? There. Okay. I keep grabbing the wrong thing. You go there. Now you go here, because I said. All right, so now we have it. We can go size. And if you want to do big size, you use Alt. You hold down Alt, and this will just make ginormous changes. So you should not be able to hear the Rathana de Renata anymore. This is how you use this item without having sound. I guess you can, I think they made it so you don't have to do it this way, but this is really